Welcome back, guys. We've got some of the sickest deals from Pawn Stars lined up for you today. Check this out. A man walks in with a Dutch musket straight out of the 1600s. At first glance, it looks like a pint-sized weapon, but don't let the size fool you. This isn't just any old scrap metal. The barrel was crafted by Lazarino, the absolute goat of 17th century firearms. The guy wants at least $10K for it, and for a Lazarino, that's actually a fair shout. But is it a legit masterpiece or a clever fake? Time to bring in a specialist and see if Rick's about to make a massive play.
All right, let's take a look at this beauty. First off, get that toy gun idea out of your head. This isn't for kids. If you tried to shoulder this thing, the backblast would literally melt your face off. These were designed to be fired from the hip or held out with one hand. Now, Lazarino was the man back then, and because of that, the market was flooded with fakes. Most knockoffs just scratched the name Lazarino on the side and called it a day. But look here, we've got dual proof marks and the official maker's crest. That's a dead giveaway that the barrel is 100% authentic. Here's the kicker though, the stock is about 150 years younger than the barrel. It's a marriage of parts. In today's market, you're looking at $300 to $3,500. Good luck with the deal.
So the expert drops the truth bomb, but this guy is still totally tripping. Even after hearing the real value, he stands his ground and asks for $8,000. I mean, dream on, buddy. $8,000 was a total no-go. To be real, $1,500 would have been a fair price for a piece in this condition, but Rick was feeling generous and actually offered him $2,000. Believe it or not, the seller was still trying to squeeze him for $2,200. Like seriously. But at the end of the day, they settled on $2,000 and shook on it. Deal done.
Next up, we've got a guy who clearly skipped history class. He rolls in with a watch that belonged to the king of scammers himself, Bernie Madoff. This dude dropped $32,000 on it at an auction and is now looking to flip it for $75,000. He's convinced it'll blow up in value like something from Al Capone or John Dillinger. So let's be real, Capone was a legendary outlaw. Madoff was just a scumbag who spent his life fleecing grandmas. Here's where it gets ugly. The auction house restored the watch, which in the collector world is a total value killer. Then Rick takes a closer look, and boom, it's a Frankenwatch. The dial and hands aren't even original to the piece. Max value? Maybe $10,000. This guy basically flushed $20,000 down the toilet. Even after getting the bad news, he still tried to ask for $40,000. Nice try, buddy, but that's a hard pass. Talk about a massive L. All right, hold on to your hats because this next one is colossal. This dude literally pulls up to the shop in a house on wheels. We're talking a classic 1978 Coca-Cola motorhome.
When you're driving on the highway, everyone asks for a can of Coca-Cola. Where is the Coca-Cola? I don't know how much it's worth, but I want around $50,000.
Imagine winning the lottery back in the 70s and getting the keys to this beast. What we're looking at is one of only 5 ever made for a massive Coca-Cola giveaway. Stepping inside is like walking into a giant bottle of cherry Coke. It is red in there. But as cool as it looks, Rick's got his business hat on. This thing is a niche collectible, meaning you need to find a very specific and very rich fan to actually flip it. The seller was shooting for the stars, asking for $50,000. Rick wasn't feeling the vibe and came back with a $20,000 offer. They spent forever back and forth, but the seller just wouldn't budge from his high horse. In the end, the deal went up in flames at $35,000. No handshake, no deal. But honestly, for a piece of history this rare, would you have dropped $35K? I think that's a fair shout for a literal house on wheels. What do you guys think? Steal or no deal? That's a wrap on today's best moments. Rick definitely had his hands full with these finds. Some people walked away rich, and others, well, they just walked away. If you want to see more of the sickest finds and most insane lowballs on YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a beat. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next batch of Pawn Stars Gold. See ya!